Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Irina Gordon, a certified neurographic instructor, aesthetic coach, and therapeutic arts practitioner. You know, when it comes to art, the paper you use really matters. I love working with sturdy, loose pages because they are just perfect for both wet and dry media. You don't have to worry about paper buckling or falling apart when you use watercolors or layering with different materials. Today I want to share with you one of my favorite papers that I use. This is You Create paper, and it comes in this package of 50 sheets, so it's quite a big amount of paper. So let's see how we can work with this paper, how markers, watercolors, pencils look on this paper, so you can see with your own eyes in real life and you can make the judgment. And if you decide, you can purchase this paper from the link that I provided in description to this video. So the thing that I really appreciate in this paper, it's its color. The paper is natural white, not the extra bright. I want to show you so you can compare a different paper from the different brand. It looks like that. So you see the difference in the color, and one more drawing pad so you can compare how the paper can be extra white or it can be more naturally white. So this natural white color, it gives this warm, nice shade to your drawing. This softer tone brings out such warm, gentle shades in your artwork, and it makes colors feel more organic and alive. And I want to show you a few ready works that I made with this paper. So you can see this one is from our latest workshop where we worked with watercolors. Also, I want you to pay attention how this paper is straight. So that's how, and we used lots of water on this paper and still it wasn't buckling. I will show you today, like we will actually use watercolors, so you will see how it looks during the process, and after it will be dried, I will show you how it looks as a final product. And here is another example, and this work is the combination of the watercolor pencils and watercolors together. And again, look how it's quite straight, this paper. So it's very good, very sturdy. I really recommend it. So let's see how different materials work on this paper. Let's start from the markers that I usually use, which is Sharpie Fine Point and Sharpie Ultra Fine Point. So these are mainly materials that we use in Neurographica. So if we want to make a neurographic line, what I can tell you, when I draw a neurographic line, it the process of drawing, it's quite smooth, so I don't feel any resistance of this paper because this is very smooth paper compared to other watercolor papers, right? Of course, if you will use the marker pad, for example, the marker pad of Ohuhu that I showed you in a different video, so this one is much smoother surface, of course, because this one is made specifically for markers. But if I compare this paper with other brands of watercolor paper, this one is very good for markers as well. So we can see how we make very beautiful lines. We can round them. And I can use the ultra point also. So I want to show you. And again, it's very easy to draw lines with markers on this paper and rounding corners. So no problem at all. The process is very satisfying. I really enjoy working with markers on this paper. Now let's take a look at how highlighters look on this paper. And again, I'm going to use my favorite highlighters, Stabilo highlighters. You can find the link for these highlighters if you want to try them also in the description of my video. And let's see how they look on this paper. So they look also very good. And if you want to color bigger areas, you see how the coverage is very smooth. You almost don't see any lines when you work with highlighters on this paper. So you see how beautifully you can use them here. And if you want to blend, and they are blending very well. So mainly in Neurographica, these are the materials we use, markers and highlighters. We also like using color pencils, and I use watercolor pencils. So I will demonstrate you a few examples how watercolor pencils look on this paper. So I picked a few colors that I usually use. These are my favorite colors. And let's see how we can work with them. And again, if we want to draw neurographic lines with pencils, for example, it's very nice. They glide on this paper. They make very beautiful coverage. Another color. And let's say if I want to color with these pencils, you can see how nicely they create this layer of the uh, color here. Let's see how we can blend a few different shades. So let's add some tilt and blend. We can add a little green here. So this paper is really, really good for all this material. So far, that's my favorite. And especially if you check the price compared to other papers, this is quite affordable option. Maybe to add some yellow. Okay. And the last thing that I wanted to show you today, it will be working with the watercolors. So these watercolors you can also purchase following my link. I really recommend them. They have beautiful shades here. So now I'm going to mix them with the water, and I will show you how they will appear on this paper. So I prepared a few colors now, and I'm going to apply water on my paper because I'm going to work in the wet watercolor technique. So you can see how I use a very wide brush, and I have a lot of water here. So I do it with the purpose. I want to show you how this paper behaves when you apply a lot of water. So of course we expected a little bit tobacco, but compared to other brands, it will be very minimal. Okay, so now I have a wet paper, and I'm going to apply some prepared watercolors that I made before. So let's see. Now I add some blue randomly. Okay, now the next one I want to use will be green. And again, you can see that the paper is very wet. That's why the watercolor is spreading and making these shapes of like a snowflakes, because the paper is very wet and the watercolor is mixed with lots of water. So right now this is very wet area. Okay, let's add some yellow, for example. And maybe one more. I want to add pink and purple, two more. Pink and purple. Okay, so right now I want to leave it for a few minutes, and maybe I will use a hair dryer to dry it, and I will show you the same paper when it will be dry. So I'm back now. I dried this paper. You can see how it's absolutely dry. And you can see how straight is this paper. Again, it wasn't buckling, and you know that I applied lots of water here. So everything looks very beautiful, absolutely amazing. Now you can continue with this work and just add neurographic lines. Again, we can use the same marker, for example, and we can experiment with that, and we can continue working. So highly recommended paper. It's absolutely perfect for large groups because it's 50 sheets of paper here. So yes, I don't know what to add. Just go to my link and order it and try it, and you will see how amazing this paper is. Browse to my website ncagordon.ca, find the link Art Supplies on top of this page, And when you scroll down this page, you will see the list of different products that I recommend and I often use in my classes. You can find here markers, highlighters, papers, watercolor. When you click on the button check on Amazon, you will be redirected to the Amazon website where you can complete your purchase.